Sitting here in the cottage, quiet at the still point of the year. Outside, the tawny owl that roosts in the tree has not yet started to call, though it'll be doing so before midnight, and again in the earlier hours of the morning before the dawn has broken. Winter solstice is here, those few days when the earth stands still before reversing its axis and starting us on our path here in the northern hemisphere, back to longer sunlit days. But for now, stillness and darkness, a drawing in of activity and a time for contemplation and planning. Well friends, at this point I was going to do a very measured review of the year and look forward to the new one. And then there was an announcement that the Prime Minister was going to make a broadcast regarding COVID. He popped up on TV and announced a new virus variant and a considerable clampdown of activity in our locality. We are not in Tier 4, but all my family are, and suddenly it seemed really trite to talk about looking forward and choosing optimism when, once more, we're peering into metaphorical as well as physical darkness. Choosing optimism is still my preferred option for the future, but an impressive Jewish acquaintance of mine, Thalia Gur-Klein, made a point to me years ago which has always stayed with me. Speaking in the context of the idea of forgiveness, for she'd lost many of her family in the Holocaust, she reminded us that there's time for the positive later, but to also make sure that one makes time for lamentation. Do not ignore the griefs and disappointments, the losses and regrets that you may be enduring. Take time to remember them, to record them, to recount them and recognize them, for they are real. So in this time of darkness, take a moment to note those experiences as they've affected you during the past year, for they are part of who makes us who we are. So at this particular solstice, I'm honouring the past year in all its griefs and trials, but I'm also savouring what that time has given me. The dark and the quiet allow me time for hibernation of body and mind, time to think about what has come to pass, and also time to incubate ideas and plans to take forward. Then I can look forward with optimism, and I invite you to do so as well. Whatever difficulties we face in the next few months, spring will come again. The days will grow longer and the daffodils will break through. And in the here and now, I invite you to take pleasure and value the ordinary things in these ordinary days, which I think we've all discovered in this last year actually turn out to be both precious and extraordinary to us. So sit with me now a little while, friends, by the summer house at the still point of the year. Be with me in the darkness, but know that there is a light. The light of the springtime will return. Meanwhile, perhaps we can all try and be a bit of light in somebody else's darkness. I wish you all a very blessed winter solstice.